What people don't understand about wrestling is that certainly it's scripted versus storyline. Most of the fights are choreographed, but a lot of it is done on the fly in the ring between the wrestlers. But, okay, it's scripted, but it still hurts taking a scoop slam or suplex or whatever it is on the mat, known as a bump. It hurts. Okay, so some people at least understand that these guys are stuntmen, and taking those falls, it hurts. But then what a lot of people fail to add to that or realize is that these guys don't go out like a pro fighter once every 6 months and take one bump. Most of them take, what, hundreds of bumps in 1 month? They are on the road, traveling, and they are putting on matches and events constantly. And what you have to realize is that taking one scoop slam, your body is going to say, or suplex, or choke slam, your body is going to say, ouch. But you know what? That's all right. It hurt, but it wasn't dangerous. But when you've taken 10,000 slams or bumps, your body is starting to crumble. You know, you actually get permanent damage. The human body is extremely fragile. It's not built to do that. And that's why you have wrestlers, you know, in their 40s or 30s retiring because their bodies are beaten to shit. To fucking pieces. That's why you have them, you know, ODing on painkillers or, you know, getting addicted to all sorts of drugs, medication, booze, because they are in constant pain. Chronic pain. Constant chronic pain. So they're just beaten to shit. And that's something that I think 99% of people just fail to realize about wrestlers. Oh, wrestling's fake, wrestling's fake. Yeah, do the wrestling lifestyle for like 1 year and then get back to me. Most people wouldn't last a week, I think. Not a week through the, you know, pain and all of that, all of what it entails to be a wrestler. And especially like back in the day where people worked like really fucking rough and intense. You know, the old guys like Bruiser Brody, Stan Hansen, Hardcore Holly. It wasn't a fucking picnic, you know. Yeah. People just don't know what they're talking about. And all of the people saying it's scripted, they wouldn't last a week doing wrestling. Not a fucking week. They would be way too fragile. But why the dumb narrative, fake grudges and scripted bullshit? To create drama, to create hype. You need personalities. The best wrestlers have never been the guys who've been the best in the ring, you know, technical wrestlers. It's been the guys who do the good promos. It's like, who do you think is the biggest Twitch streamer? Is it the dude that's the best at playing games and has no personality? Or do you think it's the guy that's the best at trash talking, who has charisma and personality? Yeah, take a guess. Take a guess. Wrestling is the exact same. Who gets asses to seats? Who gets people to pay for a ticket? It's the guy with the charisma and personality. Jeez, is this hard to understand for people? Why the scripted drama? Well, guess what? To create drama that people can relate to get people to watch it. Hulk Hogan, like, it's very well known that he wasn't the best technical wrestler. Bret Hart, on the other hand, extremely talented technical wrestler. Extremely talented. But he was never a Hulk Hogan, and it was because Hulk Hogan had the larger-than-life personality. Yeah, no, Bret Hart was extremely popular. Extremely popular. But he would never become a Hulk Hogan. He was too weak on the promos. He wasn't terrible, but he was no Shawn Michaels either.
KO. Round 4.
Dynamite Kid. Oh, there you have a very strong technical wrestler. Oh, Undertaker. He's one of the greatest of all time. Easily, if you ask me. It's so nice to see him finally do interviews and open up a little bit. But finally, I'm so happy actually he stayed in character for so long. That's what makes it so special to see him open up now. To finally see the person behind the gimmick.
Stay down, maggot.
Boogeyman, yeah. You can bring the physical part of it and how tough they are, fine, but that doesn't change the fact that the whole drama thing is just cringe. Well, I mean, okay, it's cringe to you. It's not cringe to me. Some storylines are, but I love how cheesy it is. Even the 80s wrestling with Macho Man and Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan versus Andre. I love the cheese. It's super entertaining. And the guys are just so charismatic. They're so charismatic. It's like Ultimate Warrior, you know, known for being the biggest jerk-off alive. But still, when you see him do a promo and he's just talking complete gibberish, you don't understand what he's saying, but he has so much intensity that you can't stop buying, you can't help but buying into his hype and what he's saying. You know, it's, they're so larger than life, enormous personalities. Oh, it's like Jake the Snake. With Jake the Snake, to me, it's like you can't help but think it's real. He's just so good. He could have been a fucking character actor, I think. It's just incredible performances. And again, it's like, definitely not the best technical wrestler, but give him a microphone and to me it's like magic. He's so good. You would believe he hated those people. Or that the story was real. So yeah, I mean, to some people, of course wrestling is cringe. But I think it depends on what type of wrestling you're watching. Because Trish Stratus versus Tori or whatever the fuck her name is, yeah, I don't want anything to do with it. Or maybe a storyline, you know, I was never the biggest John Cena fan. But some storylines I thought were really cool. I mean, one of the funniest things ever is, you know, the years after Montreal Screwjob, the end of the 90s, you get Stone Cold versus Vince, you know, the Authority. And their segments are just hilarious. Vince in the hospital bed with a nurse and Stone Cold dressed as a doctor, attacking him, hitting him in the head, boink, with his piss pan or whatever it's called, and it's like, it's just magic. Stone Cold could honestly go down as one of the GOATs. He is the GOAT. He is the greatest of all time. No! Opinions on Cena, one of the most controversial wrestlers ever. Incredibly talented. Incredibly talented. Very charismatic, great actor, funny. He's got a great look. He's a great wrestler. I just never liked the gimmick, John Cena. The white boy hip hop. Yeah, I never liked it. So I had more trouble with the gimmick, but it's easy to see that he's an amazingly talented person. It's just the gimmick I didn't like. Drew McIntyre. I don't watch current WWE. I just don't watch it. I feel like the train sailed a long time ago with WWE. They don't have any stars left. There are no larger-than-life personalities anymore. During the 80s and 90s, the roster was filled with these incredibly colorful characters, you know, who made you believe it was real. These days, it's too polished. The product is too polished. It's too easy to tell that everyone is an actor. Everyone is very tied down in a way. It's too controlled. It's so milk toast these days. And not just because of the PG. I think it's because the wrestlers themselves are very afraid. I think it's like Vince McMahon said in... He said it very bluntly in an interview with Stone Cold, that the current wrestlers, you know, they are millennials. They're very afraid of conflict. They're very afraid of causing problems, you know, on the workplace. They are yes men. Yes, yes, yes. They don't want to make themselves bothersome, you know. Whereas in the old days, the wrestlers were extremely ambitious, low in agreeableness, extremely aggressive, you know, and, you know, larger-than-life personalities. So that's why I think, you know, these days, the people you see wrestling are people who've been wanting to do it all of their lives, and they're super talented, and they get to the WWE, and they don't dare do anything, you know, they just want to fit in, and of course, there's no one else to go to either, so if you get fired, that's it. What, you're going to go to the independent circuit after WWE? I mean, well, what's the difference going to be in terms of pay? It's going to be enormous. So that's a problem as well. But, yeah, no, wrestling is not what it used to be. I mean, can you imagine, like, Randy Savage in today's WWE? Or, God, well, what's his name? God, there's so many of them. Psycho Sid. Yeah, Hogan. I mean, Shawn Michaels. Hardcore Holly. Ultimate Warrior. The Steiner brothers. You know, it's like... Yeah. Stone Cold had the best audience reactions. Dude, every time he makes an appearance these days, what? How many years after he quit? Didn't he quit in like 2004? It's like 16 years later, or whatever it is, he gets bigger pops and crowd reactions than the current, you know, top talent. And that tells you straight away that they don't have any stars anymore. There are no WWE superstars anymore. And now that Undertaker is gone, he still gave WWE some credibility, in my opinion. Still being there. He was, you know, the last of the old guard. But with him gone, it's like, what do you have left? Oh yeah, no, okay. Is Brock Lesnar still wrestling? Okay, he's huge. He is huge. But with Brock Lesnar, talk about being a visual gimmick. Don't get me wrong, like his technical skill and strength is like no other. What an athlete. But in terms of promos, I find him very weak. He's not very believable. He relies solely on looking like $1 million. His it's just his appearance is so strong. Really has the look. And he really relies on that. And of course his physical ability is fucking insane. What a genetic specimen he is. Exactly, it's so good. They get Paul Heyman to be his mouth. It's so smart. Oh, but talking about the greatest of all time, Randy Orton is most likely up there as well. He's so good. But honestly, in a top 3, I'd probably put like Stone Cold, followed by HBK, Shawn Michaels, and then maybe Undertaker for top 3. I wouldn't put The Rock in top 3, as good as he is and was.